Hello, I hope things aren't lagging. I hope things are good. Yeah, hi Seradwin, hi Bob. So, I'm using a VPN. Oh no! Why? Why? Yeah. I finally decided to splurge on a VPN because I'm getting fed up of, you know, not being able to go on
every time is pun.
Hello, Erland. How are you doing? Also, you know, there's lots of dangers out there, especially for, you know, YouTubers and stuff. Like, you don't want to click on a link that then is like, haha, we know your location now. Using VPNs that block trackers and stuff. Amazing for it. Also, it automatically blocks adverts and stuff, so that helps. Oh, so I'm advertising the stream. Yeah, head pat. Thanks for the head pats. Yeah. Advertise your stream. Okay, what do I want to say to advertise your stream? I be the bestest painter in the whole world. Paint. Paint be hard, but I improving. Yeah.
I got a cupcake tied up. She's tried to take it in a weird situation.
No.
What's wrong with your cupcakes?
No, don't tie up the cupcakes. I was like, hi, goobers. Hello, goobers are raiding us. Oh, the Briar viewers. What are Briar viewers called? Are you guys goobers? Are you eggies? Hello, Briar. Hello, Paladin Stem. Hello, Elite Trainer. Oh my gosh, Elite Trainer. It's the Elite Trainer. How are you doing? Oh, Control V. Yeah. I'm here. I'm alive. Cat. I'm not a cat. I mean, I kind of look like one right now. I kind of do. Also, Blair Boris, give me back the cupcakes. Don't hurt the cupcake. They're friends, not food. Not captives. No. Oh my gosh, it's the Elite Trainer. And hello, TA. How you doing? I'm not silently watching any more NES stream. You're not silently watching, not lurking.
Misery word of the day. Raid. I came from the raid today.
Oh my gosh, you want a citizen of Cuptopia. And now you're raiding Cuptopia. Why are you raiding us? Hello everyone. Well, anyway, I'm Cupcake Conjurer in both name and profession. I kind of look like a cat right now, but I'm not a cat. I'm not a cat. I'm pouring myself a cola. I finished yet another Kingdom of Hearts game. Kingdom Hearts. I keep putting that off in there, don't I? Joke. It was 2 to 3 hour demo. It was a demo. Oh my gosh. Raya, did you ever like play loads of games as a kid and for just demos? I played loads of demo games.
Hope everyone doing so great. That face blue smiling colon face fuchsia tongue out.
Cuptle's not even here. Let's bring Cuptle around for a second. Hi. So how is it? It's not laggy, is it, at the moment? For those who just came in, I finally decided to splurge on, you know, proper VPN thing. Not like a browser extension. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll stream using the VPN. Maybe that will be good. Will it offer me extra protections? Probably not. You look fine. Yay! Oh yes, I did and also Game Boy stuff, which why I played Pokemon as a kid. Oh, I had a bunch of I don't know if you ever had them, but did you know those magazines that have demo discs in? Yeah, I had an old PlayStation and an old PS2, and we had loads of demo discs for them. And it was like, oh, yuck. My favourite thing was just playing through the demo discs. Cat looks law accurate to original. It's not law accurate to original form. This is not. I'm not a cat. I'm just a cupcake that's vaguely cat shaped right now. Hi. Hello. See, this is my true form. This is my true form. Yeah. I had educational PC games going up. No! All I had was oh, that explains a lot. City planning games. Vince, why? Why? So mean. I'm not a banana. I'm not a banana. Nay. I played a lot of do you know games like SimCity and do you know those civilization builder games? I played a whole load of them. Oh, wait, I'm getting like billion notifications. There we go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What a nice game. Shame it's so short of the story not finished. No. Yeah, I think that explains a lot. Me playing words. Civilization builder games and for PC and SimCity games. Also, we had James Bond games because my brother absolutely adored James Bond, so I had a bunch of them. Do you know those games that you found in like the bin of the old game stores where it's like, hey, you can buy like 3-4 quid or something? Absolutely adored some of those games. Oh. There we go. Now the equivalent to, do you know, for retail bin at the game store is do you know Steam sales, where they just put a bunch of games on for sale? I guess that's the closest thing. And now people are more limited by the hardware they can afford as well.
Cupcake Conjurer gave 1 million points to Elite Trainer.
I didn't give 1 million. Oh wait, I did once. I did, never mind. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Bobby and Keeper won 10,000. Oh my goodness. So the eye thing was a conspiracy all along. Such blue necks that slip through the cracks of midden hind theory. I have no idea what the eye thing you're talking about. But Boris Todbringer is back. Boris Todbringer. Why is everyone gambling? Don't gamble. Gamble is bad. Do you like my drawing though? Do you like it's an Iron Warrior getting beaten up by a Black Templar who lost an arm, and Imperial Fist who lost a hand, and a Skitari that did all the work. Yeah. Have you plugged your leg? Oh, I've not. Oh, wait. That also reminds me. I've got a video up. It was edited by Briar. Also, I forgot to do this on the 1st of the month. I forgot to do it on the 2nd of the month. So here's a bunch of gifted members.
Oh my Cupcake. Thank you Cupcake Conjurer for supporting 5 Cupcake Mages.
Yeah. Here you go.
Oh my Cupcake. Thank you Cupcake Conjurer for supporting 5 Cupcake Mages. And so did Elite
Trainer. And TA got sniped. Oh my goodness, so many amazing snipes right there. I need to do more Cupcake. I need to do Cupcake streams. I need to do more member streams. It's been a while. Most of them were strategy games. I remember one RTS that took place underwater and one city builder where you have different races, but playable was only one, and I finished on it by building a police. What games? I played a lot of Rome Total War because my Latin teacher absolutely loved Rome Total War, And eventually I was like, you know what, I'm getting Rome Total War. And I was like, amazing, beautiful game. And it could run on a laptop because it was ancient. Oh, but where are we? Where are we? Dun 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 dun, smash! Here's the guys we're painting. We've done the skin on them. I think we did pretty well for the skin. We've done the leather on them and the booties. We need to do the metal on the booties. And I've been trying to paint the gold on them. I've been making lots of mistakes, but it's fine. We'll fix it. Also, I've been thinking I need to put some Nuln Oil on the white. But I have been trying to add a bit of shading to the white to, like, you know, so it's not just so bright. There's a mobile RTS that's sort of kind of like Warcraft, but it's almost too good to be true. Oh, I remember some really, really good mobile games. You had Infinity Blade. What else was there that was just really good? Was there a time when mobile games were just like before the mobile slop epidemic, which kind of started with Flappy Bird in a way. I mean, if Flappy Bird wasn't the first of those ones, but it really took off just people just throwing slop at the app stores. Well, for a few of them, like for a bunch of GTA knockoffs, but they weren't they weren't just like knockoff, you know, cheap copies. It was the fact that there was no GTA game on the App Store, so anybody could make one. And for a few really, really good ones, it's like, my goodness. Loads of cool games. And you can actually still find those kind of like cool games. Like, if I just full-on video games, and sometimes you still find full-on video games just get ported over to App Stores. A lot of them are like these indie roguelike those. Like, one of my favourites is, what do we call it? What do we call it? Drunken Sailor. Dungeon Crawler, roguelike claw game. Beautiful. But by the way, this is an old Space Marine that the new librarian is based on. Oh yeah, there's something else. We were going over all the new stuff, all the announcements. Oh yeah, don't forget, new people. People who just raided in. Don't forget to make sure you're hydrated. You're eating some food. Make sure you get some good rest. All of that good stuff. And the speciality of that race was that they like to rest and relax. And you need to build a resort. The game never progresses to that part. What? That's sad. Vampire Survivors. It's free on the phone. What? Drink only cola. Never what? True. If you're gonna drink water, drink flavoured water like lemon and lime. I love lemon and lime. My cats hate lemon and lime. They sniff at it for like, what is that? That is poison. And then I'm drinking it, I'm like, no, don't drink that, it's poison. But no, they don't like citrusy things, do cats. I need to show you guys something. Warhammer. Scroll up, click here, open image in new tab, move over to here, click this button, click this button. Oh, my internet just died. Here you go. This is the sprues for the new sets. So unfortunately, the new Jump Chaplain is on this sprue, and I'm hoping, by goodness, I am hoping that they make an individual release of a Jump Chaplain. This is the only way to get the Jump Chaplain. If they do another one of those stupid boxes, I will want to punch them in the faces. I hate those boxes where you have a specific character that they want you to play with, and the only way to get that character is in a box that only has these things in. So if, you want the Jump Chat, well, you have to buy a box as yet another ancient tin and 3 more of these guys. I'm hoping these guys also get an individual release. It's not going to be another suppressor issue. This guy, for some reason, is entirely by himself on the sprue, which makes me think that they're going to release him separately. I don't know if that means they're going to get rid of the old one. The old captain with shield. They might do. Obviously, if this thing is by itself, we know that's going to get an individual release with all the options. These are probably not going to get an individual release. And neither of these. I imagine the starter set is probably going to have this guy, no, this in it, and this in it, I believe. That's going to be for Combat Patrol. And it's also probably going to be the starter set, with the ultimate starter set also having the captain in it. Where this thing will be sold separately. A bit similar to if you actually look at the website now. Hi, Nanofate. God darn it, human verification. Begin. Clock, 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 clock. Yeah, there we go. Space Marines. Because if we look at the starter set right now. Where's the starter set? Where would I want it? Ways to play, begin. Start here, there we go. Starter set. So, ultimate starter set has the Librarian in it. This dude, 5 Terminators, 5 Infernus Marines. Normal starter set and Combat Patrol has all the exact same things. Just this time without the Librarian in. And then if we look at the Space Marines, the easiest way to do this is just biologists. Over to here. This was originally in the Leviathan set, which was 1 squad that shoots and then 2 characters. So it looks like it's going to be very similar for this, where that's going to be the box you buy by itself. And then these things are going to be in the starter sets and the whatever. That being said, actually, the Ballistus Dreadnought isn't available in any of those sets. You have to buy that separately, and that was included in Leviathan. But how they usually do starter sets is 1 character. Actually, Combat Patrol, sorry. Let's look. Warhammer 40k, Space Marines. Just click Ultramarines. Where's the Combat Patrol? Where is the Combat Patrol? Oh, they've probably got rid of the Combat Patrol. Yeah. They got rid of the Combat Patrol. Well, either way, the Combat Patrol is here, so it has 1 to... Oh, yeah, this only has 3 units in it. Usually how they do Combat Patrols is they have 1 character and then 3 units. So it might literally just be this character here, the Vanguard Veterans and the Intercessors. I mean, it would... Either way, I don't really know exactly how they're gonna split it up. You've then got this over here. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to know. This is probably gonna be a separate kit you can buy by itself. So it's a War Track, which is here. This is probably gonna be a box you can buy by itself. The Weird Boy probably will be too. And I don't think they'll sell the War Boss by itself. But they might do. I mean, it is separated, so it's hard to know. I've joined member streams in places I've just been gifted. Yeet. So people can't join members. Oh, no, they can. You can. If you get gifted a member, you're a mage, aren't you? Or you should be a mage. If you get a gifted membership. Yeah, you're a mage. That means you can join the streams. There's 2 tiers of if you wanted to, like, join the channel. One of them is the apprentice, in which case you only get the stickers, like the emotes. But if you're a mage, which is what the gifted memberships are, yeah. You can't join my member streams. Oh, it should have done, unless it's changed. Oh, that sucks if they don't allow member streams, now. Yeah, it should be Cupcake Mages that were handed out. If you go to my old member streams and scroll down to them, you should be able to just, like, click on them and watch them now. I've got a playlist. Actually, no, I don't have a playlist of just member streams, I think. Oh, no. Oh. I'll have to look into that then. Because I can't just click on you and see what, you know, you have. Actually, no, if you click on the memberships, you should be able to see highlighted content for members, which will show for member streams there. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you need to reload. Oh, but that will be... I remember I did set it up so it should be the Cupcake Mages being gifted. Unless they changed how that works. Ah. That kind of sucks. I'll have to look at that after the stream then. Because I don't know actually how I will be looking at that. But yeah, we've got other new stuff here. I don't know if these Arc Boys and these Gretchen are going to be a final release product. I don't think they are. I think we can expect a new Arc Boys box set coming out. The reason I don't think they are is because if you actually look at this one here, you can see how these are two separate spools that are joined together. And the same with this one. Two separate spools that are joined together. And you can break them apart to... I'm just looking at all the spools and stuff. But you can break them apart so that they can be put into a small box. Same with this thing. And not that one. This one does. It's got like all these connections between different spools. This one doesn't have it. It's just one giant spool. That means if they wanted to sell for Arc Boys and Gretchen as a box using these ones, they'd have to have a big box for it, which they don't like doing for the infantry. So I imagine that we're going to see a new Arc Boys box set come out along with a new Arc War boss. And I'm hoping with it we get a proper lieutenant to big boss. And maybe even a pain boy and stuff separate from all of this. So, yeah. I'm really hoping we get a new jump chaplain, and I imagine for Eradicators we will get a heavy bolter version. Same with a Vanguard, we should get a new separate set. So, yeah. Oh, we got paints! We got paints! And I'm not painting this dude. It's not very bright here, is it? It's a bit dark. I'll bring this down a little bit. Where you can see. Oh. So yeah, we want to do all the goldy golds. We got little bits of gold on for arms and stuff that we need to paint in. But let's go with, okay, these guys has the goldy golds done. You're fully painted. You're done, you're done. You're not done. You're not done. And that's done. So we got 3 of them. to do. Yeah. Hello, Aegis. How are you doing? And hello, Daniel Verman. How are you doing? We're currently painting neophytes. This is roughly the colour scheme we're going for, except I'm changing out the metal helmets for white helmets. Yeah. Also, if we're not going to have a white knee pad. And hopefully my final painting is going to be much better. My painting has gotten better. With every model, I feel like I'm improving a little bit. So gold, where's my Redemptor? My Redemptor gold. Retributor, sorry, not Redemptor. Retributor. Okay, I think I want the small base. There we go. And we'll do a little bit of gold. Also, they did confirm that by the end of June, you should be able to order the 11th edition in stores. So I imagine it'll be pre-order towards the beginning of June, or at least the first half of June. Got my little magnifying glass out. Just give me a moment. Okay, yeah, that's good. Just want to make sure if I lean into the magnifying glass, I'm not going to be putting my head into or hair into the camera. If I hold it here, can you still see? You can just about see. I'll move it. Yeah. Just painting a nice gold head. And with the gold done, we've only then got the bronze and the skeleton hard to do, and then all of the base colours are done. And we're really just looking at highlights and corrections. I like to do the engine motor as bronze. Oh wait, actually no, we got some metal colour to do. The metal caps on the boots. Yeah. So how's everyone's days going so far? My day went, to be honest, it's been a very lethargic day. My cat this morning, she just wanted to curl up. You know, spend time. I was like, okay, I'll curl up with you. If I didn't really want to go out much, we just wanted to eat and go back to bed. And I feel like the lethargy washed off on me. With that being said, I've been productive. I got my schedule done for this week. And I found a Gamba game. It's not really a Gamba game. It's a chess game that features Gamba mechanics. Oh, darn it. Wait. Can I show you guys? If I go up to here, do I have image 6? I do have image 6. Oh my gosh, massive! Scale it down. We got the schedule. I got the schedule done. I got the thumbnails done. I walked my cat. I did. Oh gosh, I did exercise. Yeah, Gambonanza. Yeah, they actually emailed me like, "Hey, do you want to play Gambonanza?" I'm like, "Yes, yes." It's made by the same people who made Dungeon Lava. Yeah, Gamba. It's like a chess game. Wait, you Gamba. It's a rogue. To be honest, it's just a roguelike with, you know, for random chance mechanic. Hidden in as Gamba mechanics. Also, we're going to be reading the Combat Patrol magazines, building the Brood Coven. Also, Vogel Dawn. We do a long. I felt like we could just do a fun long stream on Friday. But I might decide to do a member stream on Wednesday because I want to get some magnetizing done and just do a talking stream. Hi Shigori, how you doing? What you painting? These dudes. We're doing for gold on them. I feel like the shadow I tried to do on the white didn't turn out too well. It's just fine, I guess. Yeah, I forgot that little thing. No one else has one of those, do they? No. Fair. Kind of Black Templars. We're doing neophytes. Our chapter is called the... What did I call them? Oh yeah, the Redeemed Blade. No, Reclaimed Blade, sorry. They're like a chapter that... They go on to crusade specifically to regain, like, archaeotechnology and stuff. Although not just archaeotechnology, but the main goal is to liberate, like, relics, technology, stuff like that. Which, inadvertently, is also bringing planets into the Emperor's Light. And they're in Imperium Nihilus, on the other side of the Male Dictum. Everyone's favourite Sons of Dawn. I mean, Crimson Fists are extremely, very good. Sons of Dawn chapter. Yeah. Imperial Fist should just been second founding, not first, and made... No, the original first founding was actually Crimson Fists. In the old law, before it got retconned away, Crimson Fists were the founding chapters and the Imperial Fists were successors of them. But then they were like, oh no, we've got 2 blue success founding chapters. We need to simplify this, and went, ooh, we've got a bright yellow chapter called the Imperial Fist. Let's make them the founding chapter instead. Black Templars wouldn't have made sense. They already had the Raven Guard, who were, black and white. And it makes more sense for them to have that colour scheme, mostly black. Because they're stealthy. If the Black Templars got made the founding chapter... instead, it'll be weird if every other Son of Dawn isn't also a Crusader. The Black Templars, are cool because they're kind of Crusaders. Also, you've got the argument that the Black Templars are potentially not all Sons of Dawn. Although that kind of went away when they decided to add in the Imperial Fist chapter got completely destroyed and they got mostly rebuilt from the Black Templar gene seed. So, but there was at one point, Black Templars were thought to maybe be a secret, successors of the Word Bearers. When's the last time Crimson Fist was in a good novel? When you're in Rin's world, you don't need to be in any other novel. When was the last time the Black Templars were actually the main characters in a good novel? I know that, the Avenging Skate, whatever it's called, the series that start, Dawn of Fire series, has a Black Templars as relatively central figure for some of it. And he's super cool. But he starts off as like an Imperial Fist, just Son of Dawn. Chimeris. Although actually no, there has been some recent stuff with Black Templars in, like we're in the Fulgrim one, but again we weren't really the main characters there. I like this guy. I think I did well on his skin color. I went from, you know, struggling at doing darker skin tones to doing darker skin tones much better than I can do lighter skin tone. Like another dark skin tone that went really well. This is meant to be a tanned skin tone, but, you know, it doesn't look as nice. Another darker skin tone. This is meant to be the super dark. This is meant to be slightly less dark. This is meant to be tanned, which is okay. This guy's meant to be tanned, sorry. It's not actually looking too bad. I've only got the lighter skin tones, which absolutely sucks. Yeah, I need to learn. I need to learn now how to do lighter. I did actually try going, because the next step to improving my skin tones was copying what the Games Workshop suggested how you paint for skin tones. I was like, oh wait, that actually does work better than I thought it would. I mean, it wasn't exactly that, but I mixed it with how I was already painting them. Gives you good tones. So I thought I'd do the same with how they told me to paint, you know, lighter skin tones, and I wasn't very happy with it in the end. I might just go over with some Kislev flesh again. But no. We learn with each model. There we go. Oh yeah. Nice go. Imperial Fist. I like the Imperial Fist though. I like the Crimson Fist. Actually, most of the Sons of Dawn are pretty cool, to be honest. I think the worst chapter for like successors and stuff who are cool is the Iron Warriors. Like, I don't know any Sons of Dawn who are, you know, kind of suck. That being said, I don't know many Sons of Dawn successors. I know the Black Templar, the Crimson Fists, the Imperial Fist, and I can't remember from off the top of my head the names. At least one of them is on Armageddon. They're cool. The Raven Guard successors are really fun, like you got for Raptors and stuff. Ultramarines have loads of cool successors. Lives of the Emperor. Blood Angel successors are also really fun. Wait, what were the Red Corsairs originally? The Astral Claws, weren't they? What was their founding chapter? I don't remember what their Celestial Lions. Celestial Lions! Very cool. It wasn't the Celestial Lions. Yeah. Astral Claws. Are they Ultramarines? Okay, so their founding chapter is unknown. Okay. What about the Mantis Warriors? I like the Mantis Warriors, they're cool. Mantis Warriors 40k. White Scars, yeah, they're cool. I think the Imperial Fists have the second most successes after the Ultramarines. I think the Wolves have the least. Successor chapters, here we go. Crimson Fist, Silver Guard, Soul Drinkers, Executioners. Oh, the Exorcists are, what's it called? Oh yeah, the Hospitallers are really cool. They're basically like Black Templar, but, you know, they don't go on crusade. Instead, they protect pilgrims. Soul Drinkers are also Imperial Fists. I thought for some reason they were Blood Angels. Red Templars. Retributors are also. Celestial Lions. Fire Lords, Fists of the Damned, Flames, Invaders, Hammers of Dawn, Jade Paladins, Knights of Dawn, Night Swords, Retributors, Celestials. Oh, Subjugators. That's the one I was thinking of. Subjugators. Yeah, they're super cool. Yeah. I only got the Knights of Dawn, who are also fun. Hello! How we doing? We gave out for members. Mad Mudged. How you doing? Ironic Cupcake, considering I've been reading up on Storm Surge and Manta after having found my missing Storm Surge pieces. Nice. Wait, why is it ironic? I want to get my own Storm Surge one day. I need to get a Riptide and a second Ghost Fuel as well. And a second set of... I really don't like building those stealth suits we built. But it just fits too much into what I want to do with the Tau. Although stealth suits are going to be so much stronger in 11th edition with automatically having marker light. So that you can just ignore cover if they're a guiding unit. There's a number of factions that are going to do super well in 11 thanks to the ability to ignore cover. Tau with the marker lights can just go ignore cover. The Photon with the Thunderkin, just give them bolt cannons. They can pretty much just go over the entire battlefield at 80 points. Just go, that unit doesn't have cover. Actually, I should have used the word coincidence, not irony. Oh. Instead, I don't really like... I'm not... Maybe it's because, you know, Warhammer, I guess that's where the coincidence is. We're not doing Tau stuff today. And don't forget, people, I've got a new video live that was edited by Briar herself. We sniped Briar. We did snipe Briar. I love Storms. Storm Surges are such fun unit. There we go. Honestly, I really like these Games Workshop rushes now. I'm giving them more of a chance. Like, I need to do this bit of gold here. I'm going to mess it up now, aren't I? But yeah, just go along. Let's see. I'm doing relatively well. Yeah, no spillover. And because it's relatively firm, not super firm, just relatively firm, I don't have the same issue of the parts of a brush flaying out and painting parts that I didn't want it to paint. I should probably try doing some freehanding stuff. These are much better for freehanding. There we go. You look how well that belt brush. This isn't even for layer brush. This is just for base brush. It's not really designed for details. But it can get them. Yes, I did it. You did it. She made the video. She edited the video together. She was amazing. Are you going to play? Yeah, I want to. It depends how expensive it is when it comes out. But I could never afford Dawn of War growing up. And when Dawn of War 3 came out, I just didn't have the computer that could handle it. Or did I? Or did I finally get a computer that could handle it, but by that point all the reviews were terrible? So I never bothered. I have been thinking about maybe trying to play the old Dawn of War games into the lead up to it, but they sell them for a very heavy price for how old they are. Got to be $90. Actually, did I get it cheap in one of the sales? I might have done. I need to check now. Steam. Open up Steam. It's the police. Warhammer 40k Dawn of War. No, I don't have a Dawn of War. Never mind. Yeah, I think I wanted it, but it never went on a super good sale. Unless it's up here under Dawn of War rather than 40k. Nope. Nope. Ow. It's got to be $90. It's got to be 90 quid. I mean, I believe you. Like that, like if it's 60 quid, maybe. It did take me a while to play Space Marine 2 because of how... It also depends how big it is. And I do have a terabyte room. It's just going to take like effort to download. I did download a game recently that was relatively large. What was it? I swear I wanted to play it. I think I forgot. I gotta have to go through my games. I'm going through my games now. So we've got... Oblivion Remastered. Yeah, we've not gotten back to that, have we? Gambonassa, Gunfire, Heroes Hour, Hollow Cure. Megabonk. Rimworld. I checked. It's gonna cost. It's coming soon. So expensive. I mean, that is expensive. I keep forgetting I have Resident Evil because it was in that one pack I bought. Oh gosh, I just knocked over my paint. It's fine. It didn't spill anywhere. Stream Avatar, Stellaris. Subliminal, Titanfall. Oh yeah, downloaded Titanfall 2. Yeah. Oh, I've had it on my computer for ages. Just not downloaded. I forgot. Yeah, I wanted to play that game and just completely forgot about it. Oh yeah, Rogue Trader was a game I downloaded ages ago because it was on a major sale. I was like, oh, I can get it. I can get it. And Dark Tide was the other one. Yeah, those are the 2 games. And I did play them. Nice. Nice. Good. But Titanfall, yeah, I downloaded that. I need to play it. Hundred gonna play Resident Evil the same way someone would play Google Maps Street View. It just looks like any British city. Now, I've seen Resident Evil. And it's way... Have you seen that fancy police station they have? My goodness. Raccoon City is way better than anywhere in Britain I've been. I say that, yeah, actually, the town centre. Actually, no, there's a homeless place near me, doing one of the hostels. And it was actually built in one of the old town centres. Actually, I don't think it's a hostel anymore. I think it was for a while. But yeah, it's a really nice building on the outside.
Sniffer, sniffer, sniffer. You're not stinky today.
Yay!
Very nice. Also eat the cupcake, nom nom nom.
No, don't eat the cupcakes, Cuptle. They're friends, not food. This is why I have to hold Cuptle, you know. To stop him blooming trying to eat everything. He's a cannibalistic, crazy person. Oh yeah, I do want to play Dawn of War anyway. Because I did play the original Dawn of War game and I modded Tyranids into it and they look like Play-Doh. I was sad because no one ever made a working, or at least not one for me, a working, yeah, get that I couldn't afford Dawn of War growing up, and you know, I did play it. Do not play Dawn of War 3. I know people say it's really bad, so I'm not going to. I thought there was some cool stuff about it that makes me want to play it. There was a really cool night game I saw the other day, but unfortunately you can't get it anymore. Because the company didn't renew the Games Workshop license. But it actually looked decent. I was like, oh, because I wanted to play that for like Night Week. Hi, Bats! And then the closest thing to it was Dawn of War 3. If you wanted to do night. So after this, I think we'll do the iron bits. It should be good. You have to check up Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse mod. It's a huge mod pack that adds everything. Ooh. Normal game Ultimate Unit for the Marines is just like a tank. And Ultimate Apocalypse, it's a base unit with 5 variations. Oh, that's cool. I had seen... I think I might have seen some of the Apocalypse mod. I know Dawn of War 2 is like meant to be really, really good. But it's one I never, you know, got. It adds 1-to-1 scale Titans. That would be insane. Wait, how would they even fit on the map? Because I remember playing it and the maps were not that big. The maps were not big enough for Titans. They were barely big enough for the Baneblades to fit on, and the Baneblades were definitely not the same scale. Because I think they were mod-added Baneblades. They also added bigger maps and a bigger... Oh, that is cool. I just remember, the one thing I found annoying... Oh, the one mod I did add was Law Accurate Space Marines. because I remember playing it one time, and in a single map, I had like 200 space marines die in it. And it's like, this does not make sense. It's still being worked on. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's a cult classic game, so I'm not surprised, to be honest. Dawn of War and its expansions are awesome. Yeah, Dawn of War 2, yeah. I mean, I've seen enough of that to know it's really good. But again, it doesn't go on sales. That's the thing. I mean, it does, but it's still very expensive on such an old game that, you know, when it comes to old games like that, they don't always run super well on modern computers. Although I do know the original Dawn of War has had a release, you know, for modern computers and stuff, so maybe it'll be good. Ooh, I really like the blue chainswords. Thank you. They're not finished yet. They're just, this is roughly what the guys will look like in the end. Although I'm hoping to do them better than this dude. And we're doing the helmets white now because I didn't like how that turned out. Do I have one of the chainswords here? No, his chainsword's there. We got a big old power axe over here. Giant axe. Giant axe. Templar. Giant. Yeah. It sucks that Dawn of War 3 tried to jump on the MOBA Oh, it jumped on the MOBA bandwagon. Oh. I'm not a big fan of MOBAs. The mod started with the author just wanting to add more land raiders, and it ended up being around 100 more plus more units. Oh. The splash of colours and those look really nice. Thank you. Giant axe, yeah! Unfortunately, I am like painting. There's been multiple times this week I've wanted to work on them, but I keep just getting distracted. I'm very slow. I'm very slow at a lot of things. Not enough time in the day. There we go. Yeah. Oh, so nice. I've done it. It's fine. I make mistakes. I can correct them later. One of the fun things is when you're doing painting art, you can very much turn mistakes into happy little accidents. There's a number of times when I was like trying to draw and I accidentally like did something wrong, but then when I actually like, you know, looked out, not looked at, like zoomed out and just like, you know what, that actually works. That's better. Yeah, I need to learn how to paint these. Oh, darn it, that's what I've not been doing. Oh, no. Okay, did we do you? Yeah, you. It's you. I've not been painting the little things on the arms. The little connection parts of the power armor. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're just doing little bits of gold on them. I thought it'd be fun doing it gold. Also, retribution is a really nice metal colour to work with. She remembers. I remembers. Hi, Reesonin. How you doing? Oh, Reese-nan. Reese-nan! There we go. This is... Oh no, I just massively went over the area. Only want to work on them. That's fine. I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna put them to one side. I'll work on the skin again. There's some parts that I'm missing on it anyway. I'm with this guy, to be honest. There we go. Oh, yeah, I messed up that. Yeah, last name is from Scotland, so it sounds a bit weird. Scotland! We love Scotland. I'm Scottish. I've lived my entire life in England. Well, most of it. There we go. Painting gold. There we go. I am a Jamaican. I'm not Jamaican. Just randomly thinking. There we go. Painting gold. Yes. If you're wondering why sometimes I get really concentrated and stuff, it's because I'm using a magnifying glass to look exactly what I'm doing. So I'm a bit far away from the microphone when I do this. I need to get one of those microphones, you know, you can just clip to your shirt or whatever. Clip to your chest and then, you know, I'm never far away from a microphone. Guys, what do you think they're going to announce for next week? I say announce for next week. What do you think's going to go on pre-order next week? I think it might be for Cogfort finally, and maybe the oh, what's they called? The Skaven and the Grenadiers. Night runners, night runners. I've got some night runners dancing around. Runners down. We've also finally stopped the sale on the You know, where you could get, if you get download a back library app, you could get a bunch of books for free. And I was hoping with that they'll like do some more sales or whatever, but they've not done any sales. I'm like, no, I want to get books cheaper. How have I been? Oh, I've been okay. My tummy hurts a bit at the moment, but you know, that's normal. For me anyway. Oh yeah, gold! Yeah, you can see where some of it I made some mistakes, but it's fine. Usually the highlights and the black armor comes last, so there's generally a lot of mistakes I need to pick up by that point. So just go over some of that. It usually doesn't take too long. Just solidifying the colours. I think after this, what I'm actually going to do is focus more on the skin. There we go, because some of them I didn't do very well. There we go. Close that up. Wash this brush. Yeah. Right. Okay, this one. I know I want to get some. How dark is it? It's not super dark. So that's not Catechin Flesh or Custari's Flesh I want to use. I think it's Cadian Flesh. Yeah. Cadian Flesh. I think that's meant to be tanned. How's it meant to be tanned? It's darker. That's super. Yeah, it's meant to be tanned. The Cadian Flesh tone is fine. Need to go into there and up to there. People are being super loud outside. They're screaming. There's a sports game. Well, I mean, it is Sunday. Maybe there's a sports game on. People's favourite sports ball team is on. I know sports. You've got... Okay, so teams that I know exist in the sports ball thing. You've got Manchester, the other Manchester, Liverpool, and the other Liverpool. About 60 London teams, which none of them have London in the name. Could you imagine if people screamed and shouted over snooker? Or do you know one of these other, more calm games? I just bought the Sons of Dawn box, but I'm converting it to Dark Angels, so now I have Imperial Fist and Black Templar transfer sheet that I'm not using. You might be able to sell it on eBay. But if not, generally it's like if you're playing Space Marines, you'll have a lot of transfers that you won't use because, for chapters that aren't yours. Like, buy any Space Marine kit, you've got Raptors, what else do you have? Ultramarine, stuff like that, isn't it? The main thing is if you've got the Black Templar upgrades through as well, and some of them you will be able to use on your Dark Angels, like some of the cool stuff there. But most of it, probably not. Or at least not without some converting of it into fashiony stuff. Oh, darn it. Went over a blue there. I'm watching They Call Me G Robot, an Italian superhero film. Oh, I wondered why I never heard of that, because it's Italian. Is it any good? I've not watched many foreign language films that aren't Japanese or Korean.
My baby takes the morning train. He works from 9 to 5, and then he takes another home again to find me watching the Manchester United football.
Football, the best weekend team in order. No. Manchester United. Manchester United. No. Don't believe you. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make it. Watching Manchester fail at football. No, the real best team of the world, Liverpool. I don't know, I just know that Manchester and Liverpool hate one another. Although not as much as Manchester and Manchester. Those Mancunians. That's a word for Mancunians, isn't it? Mancunian. No one hates Mancunians more than Mancunians. It's a bit like, you know, it's like the Scots and the Welsh, or the Scots and the English, or the Scots and the other Scots. Go on, Scots who were in Scotland. Blasted Scots. I don't know much about football, but I know that I've heard people going about. Yeah, Arsenal and Manchester are the only two that I know off the top of my head. Although there's another one called Chelsea, I believe.
You Scots sure are a contentious people.
Yeah, we are a contentious people. Oh, it's like Northerners and Southerners in Britain. Gone Northerners. Gone Southerners. Gone Northerners. Gone Southerners. Electric Cup doesn't even wear a kilt. I do have my tartan. I don't wear kilts, but I do have tartan skirts. I don't actually wear that often because they don't have flexible waistbands, which, you know, is when you have a tummy problem, flexible waistbands are very, very nice to have. And I either have a thing where I'm too skinny for them, and as a result they just fall right onto my hips, or, you know, I've got a bit bloated and they no longer want to fit anymore. And it's like, ugh! If they were elasticated waist, it would be so much nicer. Or do you know, like, have a bit more stretchiness in the waist, or for the pleated, so I think that's one of the reasons they don't. Although I do like my skirt. I do like my tartan skirt. The main thing I can say about being Scottish is that, I mean, I have spent a lot of time in Scotland and with Scottish relatives and stuff. I've been to a lot of Scottish funerals with a full-on bagpipes. Oh my gosh, bagpipes are beautiful. And my parents regularly eat haggis. I've never been a haggis fan though. Even like the veggie version, or doing like the... You got two types of haggis. You've got original haggis, which is made from like sheep intestines and stuff. And then you got high class haggis, which is basically, do you know the skin on sausages? It's basically the skin on sausages around mincemeat, rather than like, you know, organ meat, which haggis wouldn't usually be made from. So but proper like minced. But usually it's lamb. I don't like lamb. That's my main thing. Well, they do sell beef haggis and stuff. Maybe one day I'll have a beef haggis. But then they put all sorts of other stuff in, like wheat, whole grainy stuff. Often like sweet potato you often find in it. Like an entire meal in a ball. And you know, with my stomach issues, that's not very good actually. Because the more if that's in it, the less likely I am to be able to have it. Yeah, I want to do this side of this a bit. My goodness. I've been watching, you know, battle reports and stuff. And, do you know various things? And every so often, like when you're watching the official Warhammer stuff, is they'll show off some incredibly painted models on, you know, for every Metro team. And they're not the ones you normally see in, like, promotional photos or whatever. Instead for, like, just some ridiculous level stuff. Like, the ones in promotional photos, the ways that they paint them, it's designed to show off the model so you know what you're getting, rather than trying to paint it to, you know, some crazy standard. But when they do show off like these ridiculous models, you can see like these amazing freehand works they've got on, all sorts of cool effects they'll put on for models. And you usually don't see it on the ones that they actually do for promotional release. And you sometimes do see some of them, like they were showing off one of the salamanders. One of the eradicators painted as a salamander during the stream. And the cool flame effects that the every Metro team put on it. Where it's like, yeah, when the every Metro team is given the breath to, you know, paint however they want, they're incredibly impressive. Honestly insane. Okay, how do I want to do this? Yeah. If I am starting to recognize more like how to do certain things. And a lot of it really does come down to... So often what I paint is I paint super thin coat. And that doesn't necessarily mean thinning paint. It means that the amount of paint on my brush and that it's putting onto a model is really, really low. But when you look at how they actually do it, what they're instead doing is their brush is really heavily loaded up. But the paint that if that's on the brush is really, really thin. And as a result, when they paint it on, they generally paint like a much wider surface in a single stroke. I think one of the reasons I don't do that is because, you know, I don't really have the same brush control that they have to allow them to paint such a wide surface. I do know multiple areas with a lot of paint on the brush without making loads of mistakes and spilling over. And I am trying to learn these things. Especially the consistency that you want your paints to be once you thin them. But when you do get that consistency, you do need a lot of it on your brush. Otherwise, you're just going to need lots and lots and lots of layers. And then when you do that, it's not as smooth. That's the main thing about how they get a really smooth coat. It's not just thinned. It's the layers that they're putting down aren't actually that thin. But because the paint itself is thinned, when it dries, it just kind of grows into everywhere. And spreads out nicely. Okay, Restoris Flesh now on the darker skin tones. And I use Catterton Flesh on the super dark skin tones. If you want to know, the lighter skin tones, I'm using Kislev Flesh. The bright, the tan skin tones, I'm going with Cadian. The dark ones, I'm going with Restoris. And the super dark, I'm going with Catterton. Honestly, these ones look good. Oh, wait. There is a bit of a gap there in the paint. Let's get into there. And then basically highlighting, I'll just go with the next colour down. So, dark skin tones highlight with Restoris. Lighter skin tones highlight with Cadian. Although the normal skin tones, the highlight of Cadian, then the really light skin tones highlight with Pallid Rich Flesh or Rakar Flesh. And for all but these ones, the darkening the shadows and stuff is just Gulliman Flesh. Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. Fine. Okay, no, fair or good. Okay, next I want to do the iron under boots. That's the next base colour I need to do. Although, actually, I still need to do some fixing up of some of these leathery colours. Okay. This is where I want some lead belcher. Do I have lead belcher out? I do not think so. Lead belcher, lead belcher. I've got some lead belcher. Okay, this, because it's a clear lid, it means that it doesn't actually have any metal in it. Where if it does have a thing, it's probably got aluminium in it. Oh gosh. I'll just throw that in there. Just get onto here. There we go. Just create a nice smooth metal cut. It doesn't need to be perfect because it should be reflecting some of the brown around it anyway. There we go. Yeah, I do like how the boots on this guy came out. And the others like him. So, hello, Night Parade. How you do? How you doing? We've just been painting the gold colours on these guys, and now we're on to the metal colours.
The only night parade we do around here is when we work on burning the bakery down.
No, don't burn the bakery down. Don't bake the burnery down. I like how in the edit you can see like the edited stream highlight. Which remember, there's debut stream highlights now. You can watch the video. But yeah, I like how if you see there's a point where there's the background music for BMGs and I call them BGMs. There's BGMs! Don't bake the burnery down. Look, this is just me getting words confused. Don't worry about it. No, get the cupcakes. Rapidly starts trying to pick up cupcakes. No, there's no burning of a bakery. Look, we've got the best state-of-the-art fire protection in the world right now. And by best fire protection, I mean I'll just turn the fire into more cupcakes. Don't worry about it.
For whom the Taco Bell tolls.
Yeah, doing okay. I've been building a squadron of ultramarine reavers today. Nice! I've got some reavers I need to build. Keep meaning to. Not gotten around to yet. I like reavers. I do find it funny how if you give them graph jump, you know, deep strike, you can't put a reaver lieutenant in the squad. You can put a normal SmolBossin lieutenant in the squad because it can have a graph shoot. But yeah, the reaver lieutenants can't deep strike. You have to go with the standard SmolBossin. But they're cool, like all of their weapons have precision, which is hilarious. And then the main thing that makes them good, if you build a pure Phobos army is that they have AP on all of their weapons. Their bolt pistols have AP -1, their knives have AP -1. Like a normal close combat weapon doesn't. If you take the bolt gun instead. But yeah, most of the Phobos guys don't have much AP. Like if you go for the infiltrators. The Incursors do have AP on their melee weapons, but not on their shooty weapons. They're a chaos. I'm not a chaos wizard. My magic does not come from the chaos gods. The chaos gods are jelly of my magic. They're like, oh my gosh, how come your cupcake magic is so great and powerful? I'm like, because I'm the cupcake conjurer. I'm older than you. I'm from a time before you guys ever existed. From before the warp was ever a thing. I have seen the end, I have seen the beginning. And none of you survived the end. Wait, what's that one Invincible quote? I have seen the future. You don't live to see tomorrow. Bah, 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 bah. Okay, now this is where I kind of wish I sub-built it. Sub-painted. How come Mark never uses his ability to see the future again? Did Kirkman forget? I mean, even I know, having never watched Invincible, that he went into the future. He time traveled one time. And, you know, he was like, oh, wait a minute, I time traveled to the future. And, you know, the Earth was not conquered by Fultramites. So, you know, conquest must have been defeated here. Hey, Flash Through, and hello, Albatronic. How are you doing? He time traveled in an alternate dimension. Oh, did he? But isn't his thing where he says I can see the future meant to be referencing he time traveled at one time? Like, is he aware that it was an alternate dimension at that point? Maybe he was. I don't know. Either way, his brains were like half smashed out by conquest. Yeah, I know a lot about... I say a lot. I know a relatively decent amount about Invincible. Mostly just because, you know, it's all over the internet all of the time. And that's how I know I don't really want to watch it. Also, I end up having to read the comics at one point, or at least some of it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I do not watch this thing. Or read it properly. No, that's him going mental and trying to intimidate Conquest. Really? Really? Because that sounds a lot more stupid if that's the case. Hi, Tony. Frag put those fraud allegations to rest. What the heck's a frag? A grenade! Get down! I'm joking. I know who frag is. Wait, the episode where he goes to the future is a filler episode? What the heck? Oh, that's so stupid. I'm glad I do not watch Invincible. I'm also glad I do not watch The Boys. Mostly because I don't want to watch those types of things. mind! Oh, by the way, this helmet's meant to be a relic helmet. In terms of like where I actually got the model from, the helmet model. Officially, it's a relic helmet, and I just gave it to a neophyte because I thought it'd be funny. And now I'm kind of thinking maybe that's actually just going to be part of the lore of my, you know, for reclaimed blades. Is that because they're doing all this relic hunting, they've just got so many relics that literally their neophytes are just walking around with relics on their heads and stuff. Because, you know, for a dime a dozen. Might be hilarious. Also explains why everyone's covered in gold. Well, not covered, but you know, has gold. Darn it! I'm gonna need to go back over with the... Where's fine? I needed to go back over anyway. Go for leather colours. It's fine. When he goes into a future version of him coming back, takes his human clothes from him and keeps the loop going. I'm just imagining he buys new clothes and then, you know, this time-traveling version of himself just steals the clothes. And so he goes out and buys new clothes, and as soon as he, like, puts it in the bag, or, like, walks out the shop, he's, like, going to put it into his car, and the clothes have already gone. And he's like, ah, not again! Walks back into the shop, and they're like, oh my gosh, did you just come in to buy clothes? Like, yes. Picks up this exact same outfit. Did you just buy this outfit? It's like, yes. It's like, you really liked it that much? No. It's like, oh. Just let me buy it. And when he buys it, he gets to the car, and it's gone again. I know. I'm purposely misunderstanding because I think it would be hilarious if just... Just imagine if your clothes are just constantly being stolen by time-traveling versions of yourself. Oh. I feel like, good old non-time traveling Mark. Always reliable. Old reliable. That's where you get your old clothes from. He takes his clothes, and when he comes in, meaning he created an N+1 situation where N is endless. Yeah, so basically that's just creating unlimited alternate realities. But I prefer this version where there's like an N+1, but they all go to the exact same universe. Just different times in it. This season he also went to hell and met actual Satan. Oh, like Doctor Who did! Did he punch him in the snoss like Doctor Who did? Doctor Who can beat actual Satan. You know, if he didn't beat actual Satan, by the way, then Doctor Who is canonically stronger than Invincible. That's just fact right there. It's like, no, this fictional Satan is stronger than other fictional Satans. Nah. It's like, well, he would have been able to beat him if he fought him. It's like, oh, no, we didn't fight him. Oh, it must have been because he was a coward. Weakling. You know, this is how power scaling works, you know. That also means since Deborah in Dragon Ball is basically Satan. That would mean that Cell is canonically exactly as strong as Satan is. Perfect Cell. And that Frieza was significantly weaker than Satan. And since other characters in fiction have featured their versions of Satan, that means they're stronger than Deborah. That's how my power scaling works. It's called the Satan scale. Excludes Mr. Satan because Mr. Satan is just too powerful. You can't really put him on the power level from the thing. No. There we go. Power scaling is boring. Talk to you about the animation scaling. One Punch Man Season 3 loses here. Look, Cuptle has more frames of animation than the entirety of One Punch Man Season 3. Cuptle, look, in a battle between Nico and Fogi, with Fogi and Nico on one side, and the entirety of Mappa Studios on the other side, you know who will win? Nico and Fogi with ease. If you don't know, Fogi is the rigger who rigged my model, and Nico is the artist. They had impact wins in Invincible, and all the budget there goes to celebrity voice acting. Yeah. I've seen some of the Invincible animation, and it's hilarious. But at least it does have some good animation between it. Between all the bouts of you know, bad animation. Like, at least when people claim, you know, for just saving money for, you know, for good fights later, you know, that's actually kind of true. Wait, what celebrities are Invincible? Are in Invincible? I know that you've got the J. Jonah Jameson guy. And I know that you have that guy from The Walking Dead. And you also have Jesse from Breaking Bad. But they wouldn't be particularly, like, they're not top budget celebrities, as far as I'm aware. Jesse Pinkman is there, yeah. Hello, Alabatonic. Oh, you changed your name. J.K. Simmons, yeah.
John, Jacob, Jingle, Himmer, Smith. That's my name too. Whenever I go out, the people always shout.
John, Jacob, Jingleheimer, Smith. Yeah. Yeah, they're not particularly, like, top label voice actors or even celebrity things in terms of, like, how expensive it is to bring them onto projects. Don't get me wrong, they're not the cheapest, but they're definitely not up there, so there has to be some other voice actors if that's where all the budget's going to, or they don't have much of a budget, which it being Amazon Prime, that can be true. They are known to just significantly cut budgets, especially to animation. Yeah, J.K. Simmons. I said that one. That's a guy who does the thing. Yeah, J.K. Simmons is As far as I'm aware, he's not like top budget thing. I mean, I know he ain't cheap, but he's not like the most expensive voice actor. He's not like you're bringing on Jack Black. He's expensive. But J.K. Simmons is also he goes into all sorts of if he thinks he really likes a project, he you know, he's willing to negotiate his price down if he really likes a project he wants to go into. At least as far as I'm aware. That's why you see him in all sorts of weird places you wouldn't expect him to be. Mike from Breaking Bad was there. Again, he's not like a top budget one. Peter Cullen, the original Optimus Prime voice actor, is there. Oh, that's cool. Like, I know Breaking Bad is like really big and really popular and stuff, but you also have to remember that that was like, especially like the first couple of seasons were built on a paper straw budget. And even the guy who played Mike from Breaking Bad was, you know, was meant to only be a small part originally. But then people really liked him. But then you don't really see him in a lot of other stuff. Yeah, he is in every episode. I guess that does add up to the price. Korra, though. Korra. Avatar Legends of Korra had J.K. Simmons in pretty much every single episode. Although I guess Simmons has become more popular since then, so maybe his prices have gone up. Okay, Seth Rogen, yeah, he's expensive. And no idea who John Hamm is, or... Is Stephen Wen the guy who was in Walking Dead? Yeah, he would actually be relatively decently priced at the moment, because he's I guess it does add up when you get all these famous people into it. Like, getting J.K. Simmons onto an animated project doesn't require a massive budget. I say a massive budget. I mean, as far as animation budgets go, it doesn't require a massive budget. So I'm turning my air conditioner on. Well, the fact is when you got multiple people who are all priced similarly to J.K. Simmons, I guess it really does add up. John Hamm was the protagonist of Mad Men. No idea what that is. John, do you know? John from Blimey Potato. You've not seen Blimey Potato, you live under a rock. You don't know who John Hamm is? From Mad Men. You're living under a rock. His name is Walter Goggins. The voice is Cecil. Walter Goggins! That's him! Yeah, I don't know who Goggins... I vaguely recognise... Okay, I'm looking up John Hamm. Oh! John Hamm! I know John Hamm. He was in, Okay, what have I actually seen? He was in Minions! You didn't tell me he was in Minions! Shrek Forever After. Top Gun Maverick. Lucy in the Sky. Okay, no. I've definitely seen him in something. I mean, I've seen Minions. Good Omens! He was in Good Omens, obviously, yeah. I've seen that. Oh, and he was a love interest of Liz Lemon in 30 Rock. Oh, that's what I've seen. Okay, yeah, Yeah, he's would be relatively expensive to bring on. He's been in a lot. You acted as if John Hamm was in your sandwich recently. Look, I did have a ham sandwich recently. Actually, I didn't have a ham sandwich. It's been a couple of months. Okay. Who's Walton? Oh, I know Goggins. Didn't he play for Ghoul in Fallout? And then he did all that advertising AI, and no one likes him anymore. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. That's a different person. Oh no, wait. Okay, no, I typed it in wrong. Yeah, that is Goggins. Yeah. Okay, he's also gonna be expensive, especially now. He's been in loads of stuff recently. Django Unchained, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, he's a top budget one. Not the top one, but still, they're going to be not cheap to get. Yeah, I mean, when you get all of those people together, yeah, I can see why the voice acting budget is insane. Oh my gosh, that's too many celebrity voice actors. That's too many celebrity voice actors. Like at least 12 people are top tier voice actors. Yeah. Or if not top tier, at least close to it in terms of yeah. At least other places, like when they bring in other characters. You've got like characters that are voiced by, you know, the creators, or you got characters that are voiced by like one person voices like 10 different characters. And as a result, that helps, you know, free up room in the budget to get on these celebrity voice actors for a couple of people. But yeah, when you just got in your entire cast is only celebrity voice actors. No. At least it's like some of the stuff where they do have celebrity voice actors, they hire like an actual really skilled voice actor. Who can voice like 7 different characters. That being said, you're still gonna have to. You generally, when it comes to voice actors, you're paying for like line. So if they do voice multiple characters, it's going to be expensive. The voice acting budget is insane. You mean to say for whole budget? Yeah. But they need to cut back on how many celebrities are included. The funny thing is that The Rock, who is omnipresent in everything nowadays, refuses to participate because contractually he isn't allowed to lose and nobody wins in Invincible. Honestly, the people really don't like The Rock anymore, so I don't think they'd want him in. I mean, I wouldn't want him in if I was making Invincible. He'll just be negative press rather than positive press. It's like, hey, we've got The Rock. They'll be like, hey, they've got The Rock. Throw bricks at them. Oh, I do not like. Well, I'm trying to think of something else that, you know, just is an entire cast of celebrities and it's a TV show. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones had a bit of that going on. Over that being said, a bunch of the people there were only semi-famous, and you know, they weren't exact like the top tier expensive until after being on Game of Thrones, where they really boosted the popularity from being on it. But I imagine as the seasons went on, it became more expensive to keep them on the show. Which is probably why the people were thankful that, you know, so many people get killed off in Game of Thrones. It's like, well, yeah, we don't need you for later seasons, so it's fine. You get killed off. I mean, for some British shows that have ridiculous amounts of celebrity actors in them. But generally, they're not paying these celebrity actors like top rate. You know, the type of rate that they can normally demand of places. But it's one of those things, you know, where actors are more likely to want to appear in something that's, you know, homegrown, and they're willing to take a much lower rate just to appear in it. Or because, you know, they don't have to travel to somewhere else. Or because it's like a friend making the show or whatever. Now, The Rock sells a lot. The only character he could voice act and still be in his contract obligations would be like a squirrel. No, everything I've heard about The Rock is he'd want to voice somebody like Frag, except then, you know, want to challenge Superman. Black Adam was not that bad. But then it's like the last half of the film just becomes terrible. You know, I just realised who they need to get onto Invincible. You know that guy who played James Bond once or twice? And he played Dr. Fate in Black Adam. $50, take it or leave it. Yeah! Give me 50 bucks. Oh no, yeah, for voice actors. Normies love The Rock. He is the equivalent of a stock suit. He's just not good, but not awful either. To be fair, I didn't mind The Rock too much in a lot of the stuff he was in. Like, do you know things like Jumanji and stuff? It was fair. It was fine. You see The Rock, it's like, you know this is going to be bad, but it's going to be fun enough. Although then he was in other stuff like Fast and Furious. And it's like, yeah, he sucks in this. But so does everyone. Fast and Furious. It's not a place of stellar acting. Except Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel, brilliant actor. Every single line he ever says, perfectly delivered. Apparently Black Adam was supposed to start off a Rock-centered narrative that was scrapped and the movie bombed. Yeah. Have you ever seen Black Adam? It's... especially like by the time you get like close to the credits and the end credit stuff, it just... oh, it sucks so badly. It's so cringy. Once you watch Black Adam, you never want to stop punching not Black Adam, The Rock in the face. Yeah. I have, but fell asleep by the end. Family, Vin Diesel. Yeah! As soon as Vin Diesel says family, the entire audience cheers. You know, if one day they get for Groot to say family, oh my gosh! The Groot should say family. Just the entire audience just cheers so loudly, it literally causes a small nuclear explosion in the theatres. The film gets banned everywhere. Because, you know, anyone who watches Guardians of the Galaxy 4, or is it 5? I don't know. Would just be cheering. Nothing wrong with Black Adam being a powerful entity, he is. But the supposed way that The Rock came in and tried to basically take over the entire DC, yeah, that's the issue. The other thing is, the film had a massive identity crisis. Like, Black Adam, he's meant to be a bad guy. And the film kind of wants Black Adam to be the bad guy, but at the same time wants him to be a good guy. And it's like... Oh, it sucks. It sucks so badly. And I still didn't hate the film for the most part. It's just... The Rock really knows how to ruin a film if he wants to. I think it was actually a plant by Marvel to destroy DC. Or maybe it was James Gunn. Maybe James Gunn planned it all. Like, you know, some sort of Crusader King's assassination attempt. So that he could inherit the entirety of the DCU. One of these days, we're going to replace the Conjurer with The Rock. Maybe, maybe. I mean, if Nico keeps drawing me with like powerful muscles and stuff, I'm going to start getting like emails of The Rock saying, I could still take you. I'm pretty sure he didn't want The Rock as Black Adam, yeah. He basically plays the same character in every role he is in, and that character is The Rock. Yeah. You know who's a wrestler that has had a surprising, like, career? Is John Cena. Have you seen him? They say The Rock is mad he didn't get to the role of Captain America, and it's been a spiral ever since. Black Adam is supposed to be a villain that gradually changes to an anti-hero, so he needs to be defeated in his early appearances. Yeah. I really blame, though, these people in charge of DC, the corporate side of it. They really just kept messing with it. John Cena is more human than The Rock. True. I never once heard of The Rock being considered for Captain America. John Cena loves being Peacekeeper. He wears a costume all the time. Yeah. He's also hasn't been in a few other things. I've not seen Peacekeeper. But I don't think I'd really like it. It's a bit too gruesome in a way. I really like that people like, you know, Boot Beside Squad 2 a lot more than the first one. But honestly, a lot of the way that it goes, I just couldn't get into it. Right! Website time! It's 6:04. That means... Oh, Red Terror's coming out next week. Okay. 10 Gaunts, 10 of a new Guardsman, and for Red Terror. Yeah. Scout Guard. Oh. What does that mean? Oh, Archivist is coming out for Amber. Does that mean
not the website.
the Raptors are finally getting an individual release? Yeah. Okay, so the Celestine Incidents are finally getting an individual release, and so are the Raptors. Unfortunately, it blooming comes with a silly one of these dudes. I don't like that. There's a rock bow squig! And a goth orc boy. And a cheeky nurgling. A cheeky dish cheeked up. Or a painting desk deep strike how we roll. Oh yeah. Clonk. Clonk. I like how the squig's named and none of the others are named. Yeah. Look at the Amble though. The Amble is so cool. Oh. And the Archivist too. I wonder if we're finally going to get proper 40k rules that aren't just legends. Look, it's a Salt! It's a Salt! The Salt is back! Oh, Kill Team Nemesis Operations. But yeah, so you get 10 gaunts in here. Wait, are these the push fit gaunts? Because they don't have a special weapon. They do look similar to the push fit ones. 10 Termagant. I hope it's not the push fit ones. Who put him back where you lost him. You'd love him. He loves peace so much that he will keep it no matter how much. Yeah, I've seen it in Boot Beside Squad 2. Of that. Yeah, okay, now I need to compare these guys too. Why do I need to keep It's because I got a VPN on, isn't it? Confirm. I now need to check. The Tyranid Termagant. Yeah, see, these guys, they have special weapons and stuff. They're not just got these things. The flesh bars. Okay, now, I do think it's these ones. Yeah, I think it's those ones. I just think that they've, for some reason, only given them those. But let's check the starter set. If we go by the starter set. Introductory set here. Wait a minute. It could just be those ones. Yeah, I do think it's the push fit ones. Like, look at, like, that's the Whipper Swarm there, which is the exact same as that Whipper Swarm. Let's come. I don't know what the Whipper Swarm for normal kit looks like. Okay, no, that's the same as that Whipper Swarm. Okay. But do we have one stood on a rock? That's the important one. No, we don't. We don't have one stood on a rock. Oh no, never mind, he's there. Actually, no, that's different to this one. Okay, I hope it's not for push fit ones, because this very much could just be for push fit ones. And if it's not for push fit ones, why do we not have why are they all armed with flesh bothers? Oh gosh. It might be. It might be. Yeah, next. No, yeah, this is the Kill Team box set. The new Kill Team box set. Yeah. I'll probably try getting first because I do want the Red Terror super badly. Look at a cheeky guy though. I am disappointed that the new Raptors do come with a Chaos Lord, though. I don't want that Chaos Lord. I already have a commander for my Raptor squad. Don't need another one. It's not like the Techno Archaeologist in the other pack. Where he's so cheap in points that you can just have him in your army without much worry. I'm surprised that it was a kill team this time round. I thought for sure it would be the new Age of Sigmar models. Maybe that'll be next week. I do know for week after next, sorry. I don't know why I'm such a slow painter. It's not like I keep getting distracted and going to a website all the time, is it? I'm joking. That's called a joke. So, looks like there's a lot of kill teamy stuff coming out. Yeah, I love Red Terror. Do you try fixing the brush somewhere and painting by moving the model up and down? I mean, I have thought about, you know, maybe just holding two brushes in place and having like a motor mechanism come up so it can paint the eyes for me. But then I decided that's too much work and probably wouldn't work. Also watched a video about it. It did not work. Today I was learning about what music animals would like. And if animals even like music to begin with. It turns out some animals definitely like music, such as parrots and other birds, dolphins, and so on. Pets are more likely to like music. Well, that's mostly because it likely just reminds them of home. But if you change how the music works for different animals, then you can actually get them to like it. Because music effectively is based on sounds that humans ourselves, you know, instinctively recognize. And sounds that we instinctively make. As well as things like normal heart rate. So if you end up like changing these things of the heart rate of, you know, another animal and the sounds that those animals will make, I don't know the tones that those animals will make. So like what we consider happy, other animals. Well, that being said, a lot of that is socially engineered anyway. But nonetheless, animals themselves still suffer from social engineering, hence why pets are more likely to enjoy music. Cows love classical music, it makes them look a bit more which is practically how I know if I like a song. I find that when we're trying to calm the cats on, playing Studio Ghibli, when we're trying to calm the cats with music, I find Studio Ghibli really helps. And by Studio Ghibli, it just means songs that have been in Studio Ghibli films. There we go. I think one of the things with that is consistency in tone is really important for when you want to like keep something calm. A lot of classical music, especially like old classical music, it's about telling a story. So the tone changes and the beat changes throughout the music as it's basically just telling a story via music. And that can be very difficult to, you know, just calm yourself to. Which is often why you see, you know, like calming classical music, it actually doesn't have an entire piece. Instead, it just selects snippets from the piece. And these snippets might be 3 minutes long, but because the piece itself might be an hour long. But by playing this, it keeps a consistent tone within it. And then when you combine it with other classical music that has that same consistency in tone, like whether it be somber, uplifting, or whatever, that's how you get relaxing classical music. But then if you just listen to an entire piece, often you'll find the tone shifts and changes throughout, and it's very hard to actually relax to it. I think that's purposeful, because classical music, when it first came out, I say for first came out, for years and years and years, wasn't like something you put on. It wasn't something you just like turn the record on and you listen to classical music. Because by the time you got record players and stuff, you're already into like jazz and short music. Instead it was you go out for the evening to listen to classical music. And as a result, you want to be entertained. You want something that is going to not make you go to sleep. You need those sudden shifts in tone for the sudden loud noises, right, to shift down and then go up into a more joyous thing. Or into a more treacherous sort of sound. Because you'd go out for the evening and just be listening to this person or these people playing music. When it came out, that's a very loud thing to say. Yeah, I mean, don't you remember when classical music first came? It wasn't called classical music back then. It was just called, you know, music. Are you not entertained? But yeah, a lot of people today, they have a kind of like very warped overview of what classical music was. Like even things like Beethoven and Mozart. Like a lot of people recognize Beethoven and Mozart, but a lot of people haven't actually listened to like the full songs. Instead, just listening to effectively acts within the song. I say for full songs, you know, for full piece. And to be fair, I don't really enjoy listening to full pieces myself very much. And sometimes I do. Like sometimes when I'm walking the cat, I'll be like, I'm just gonna put on, you know, the Fifth Symphony or something. There we go. Sonatas, yeah. It depends on the music. They still had different genre, like the sonatas and concerto. True, true. But even then within them, it's like you still got like this 10-minute piece that in the same way you got different genres of film. It's like a horror film will have both the ups and downs within it. I know the big old scares. It's not all just going to be... Well, sometimes it is, but it's not all just going to be like some creature quietly lurking somewhere. We want to make sure you're not going to fall asleep. To keep you on your toes at the edges of your seat, as it were. And then still, you end up having like some pieces that were just, you know, you'd keep a relatively consistent tone throughout without much change. I do find they're kind of a rarity. Hope y'all... We are! Also, hi, Alabafundespia. The most classical of all musics we currently have is a song from 1400 BC. Yeah! I went to a short classical music concert in a cave once. The musicians were on a boat being rowed across an underground... What? That sounds cool! They were on an underground lake! On a boat! I hope it wasn't warm. I imagine the mosquitoes in there would be horrific on like a warm day. Oh my god, I had me listening to Moonlight Sonata when I was little. Yeah, I do like the Moonlight Sonata. It's very nice. A lot of modern music also keeps that same, you know, telling a story. I think one of the most famous examples and obvious ones is, you know, Green Day with The American Idiot, where every song is designed to be, you're meant to listen to all of the songs in a certain order. And they all kind of just follow on from one another. You get a lot of that. I used to like listening to classic FM and stuff. There we go. Since the day humans learned to be, they bang sticks to make music. Honestly, kind of. So humans are very similar to birds in a lot of ways. And one of those big ways is music and vocalization. So so birds, not all birds, but birds generally, they do vocal mimicry and, you know, copying of sounds. And they also communicate with a large variety and array of sounds. And humans do a very similar thing. So it is very likely that one of the big things that separated humans from primates, other primates, was the fact that, you know, we sing. The other thing is...
Proud of you for not starting this one with when humans first came out.
No, Gus, I mean, when humans first came out is a topic of big debate. Like, when we talk about humans, do we just mean the Homo sapien? Or do we talk about the species that became the Homo sapien? Or do we talk about other species that are similar to Homo sapiens but not quite, like the Neanderthals? You got a lot of different things going on here. So I can't really say when humans came out, just in the early days of humanity. You know, most of these types of humans, though, they probably did enjoy music back in the day. And they probably did all sorts of things that, you know, we would probably recognize as music. Although it probably wasn't as much for entertainment purposes for them initially. Like, it was things like mating ritual calls and stuff. It was probably things like warning and communication over range. Well, then it probably very quickly became music. Pretty much every single society in the world has created music of one form or another. Well, the first creatures to do music were probably the dinosaurs. When the dinosaurs first came out, they were... they were very small creatures. And they're the ancestors of the bird.
Puff word of the day. Waiting. I was going to see if you were going to notice that I was here because of the stream avatars without me having
to use the chat. Oh, I never even knew that the stream avatars could pick people up without you talking in chat. I thought you had to talk in chat for it to pick you up. But yeah, I don't really look at the stream avatars that much, if I'm entirely honest. It's I'm currently painting and trying to pay attention to chat, so it's very hard for me to also pay attention to stream avatars at the same time. The first person to do music was actually Cupcake Tundra when she sang Candyman around 1 year ago. True, but for me that was actually like 20 million years ago, but I just like brought it 10 million years into future. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm 10 million years early. Actually, no, if I made it 20 million years ago, that still wouldn't be the first case of music. So dinosaurs probably did communicate with music back all the way into their infancy. My expansion time is so low today, so I should probably return. Return, French Puff! Thanks for popping in. the cool thing, humans have a history of music that basically goes back to like proto-humans. The purpose of it is beyond me, but it would be a wonder with the beauty of it. So entertainment is a massive thing that all animals have. All animals will try to keep themselves entertained through some way or another. And you can see this. Like birds, cats, dogs, you know, they all like to have fun. And some of them, their way of having fun is actually creating art. Or, you know, doing something that we would consider a more human sort of thing. For instance, pufferfish have this thing where they do, they create these really intricate patterns and circles in the ground. And it's part of like a mating display. But they also seemingly do it for fun. And there's a lot of things like that where there's certain things that were probably originally like a sort of mating display thing. But when these creatures, you know, if they've got food, they don't have predators to worry about, and they're kind of just bored, they do kind of go into these sort of routines. Things that they just find fun. Like, you will see cubs just chasing after blades of grass and stuff, and even like fully grown cats just chasing after things like leaves, toys and stuff. Not because they think they can hunt stuff, but because they just find it fun to do that. And you see it in nature as well if you watch them. And as well, when it comes to creatures that have quite intricate mating displays or quite intricate, you know, sorts of ways to communicate with one another, you will find that they do the same sort of, they'll do it for fun as well. And music itself probably was something where it was originally a form of communication. One of the big things is it's probably a hunting technique and a, you know, a self-preservation thing of humans do a lot of mimicry. If we hear a sound, we often want to mimic that sound. It's very similar to parrots and stuff like that. And there's a lot of survival reasons to do mimicry. Like, you might want to scare off a wolf by sounding like a bear. And if wolves think there's a bear nearby, they might run away. Or you might want to, you know, lure a small creature towards you by making sounds similar to what those small creatures make themselves. Do that entire, where we go, those types of sounds are, you know, probably important in hunting. Ravens hanging out with wolves. Ravens do hang out with wolves. Also, other creatures have made pets and stuff, so it's... or something that's akin to a pet. So it's very likely that early humanity, they created these sounds as forms of communication, like probably long-range communication. The most important sound is actually, the bear! I mean, that's actually probably one of the things as well. It's instinctive to some extent that when a human's in danger, they'll scream. And that's probably in part to try and, you know, save yourself, but also probably a thing of saving your own tribe. Even if that's not what your intent is to do, by screaming, you're alerting people to a danger. And now, especially nowadays, you're wanting help. But back in these days, whether it was your intent or not, it was probably just to alert people to danger so they themselves can be safe. But on top of that, it was like, hey, here's food. Like, humans are naturally nomadic. And also hunter-gatherers originally. And we're omnivores. So one of the big things that happens is like with a lot of animals, there's a lot of animals, especially like penguins, stuff like that. You know, ones that exist in a herd, but they go out, hunt, bring it back to the pack. But the pack itself is potentially constantly moving. And humans would do something very similar. What you'd have is a bunch of hunter-gatherers gathering around. One human finds some food, enough food for multiple people to carry, or whatever, or need multiple people to capture it in some cases, and they make a sound to alert other humans that's not necessarily going to scare the food away. And as a result, they all converge into the same place. And that's an important thing, and it's these sounds that can carry over large distances, be quite easily understood, and but then once you've started making those sounds, you then might start making those sounds because you know it's fun to, and then you start adding beats and rhythm to it. And the reason humans understand beats and rhythms and other animals don't is because, you know, it's part of our entire way of communicating with one another, but also understanding other animals. And understanding our surroundings. And once we find out that we can use tools to make even louder and more fun sounds, we add it into the sounds that we make for fun. We might add it into the sounds that we make for survival. Or into mating rituals. There's a tarantula that keeps small frogs as a sort of pet. Yeah. And there's a lot of birds that also kind of, you know, domesticate other animals to some extent. Like bringing them food and stuff. And a lot of it's like to protect nests. Or even sometimes to hunt those animals. Sounds of there's bees everywhere's fame part. Yeah, I mean it's true. The ability to communicate over relatively good distances, you know, ones that we can shout over, has been intrinsic in human survival. The ability to tell people of dangers. And as funny as it sounds, most of our initial communications probably came, and like how complicated our language actually became, and why we needed such a complicated speaking pattern, is probably in part to alert people to the variety of dangers that are out there. Like, if it's dangerous because of the bees, it's different from needing to tell someone it's dangerous because of a bear, or because of wolves, or because of, you know, big animals, like rhinos or mammoths. Biosymbiosis. Yeah, a lot of tribes in Africa still do this, communicating during hunts. Unrelated, but do you think there's a Raven Guard and Space Wolf that are chill like that? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if Raven Guard and Space Wolves have interacted a lot in lore. I've never seen it. But I mean, I've not read a lot of the stories, mind you, especially more modern ones and the Horus Heresy. To be quite real, they don't seem to move in the same sort of circles as one another. In terms of like same war zones. And they definitely don't have the same sort of fighting style. Which means that they'll probably, you know, not really interact much. I mean, you might find commanders interact with one another. but you find the probably forces on the ground are going to be miles apart at any time. Because one of them wants to be stealthy and doing infiltration, the other wants to be loud and hunting. Which I mean, I know the Space Wolves also like to go, you know, scout and infiltrate and stuff, but their way of doing scouting and infiltrating is very different from the Raven Guard. And are likely not to gel well on the battlefield. I can imagine two commanders being very good terms. Because, you know, sometimes you need to go loud into a battle. And when that's needed, you send the Space Wolves in. Sometimes you need to be stealthy, but you send the Raven Guard in. Both Raven Guard and Space Wolves working together sounds like it would go very well in that regard. Also, thanks for being here, that guy over there. And the Raven Guard are getting ready to fight a 10-year-old, but they pull out a teddy bear and have to retreat because they are outnumbered. No, the Raven Guard are not the Night Lords. The Night Lords are the ones that, you know, have the jokes about them being cowards. The Raven Guard often fight when greatly outnumbered. Right, no thanks for to land. Yeah, screw that. That's because you're not left. If you said you're going by, I'll be like, oh, thanks for popping in. Bye-bye. Heresy novels are probably the best place to look for interactions, yeah. There could be instances where both chapters have had been team members in the Death Watch, potentially. That could work. But yeah, the Raven Guard often fight well outnumbered because, well, that's kind of just how they operate. They are always on the sort of, they operate behind enemy lines, in very difficult situations, and they prioritize in dealing with enemy commanders and command cells. So they'll often like go deep into enemy territory, deep into an enemy base, and there'll be like one squad surrounded by tens of thousands, if not potentially millions of enemy troops, knowing that if one thing goes wrong, they might not get out alive. If it goes super well, they'll go in, take out the commander, and get out without anyone even knowing they're there. But sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes you have to go in, take out the commander, and you know that you're not going to get out alive afterwards. Or the likelihood is very low. But the Raven Guard roll with those chances. Because that's just how baller they are. And they often end up getting deployed against, you know, enemy operatives that are very stealthy anyway. So, for instance, they often go up against the Tau. Because, you know, the Tau love their stealth suits, their pathfinders, their ghost kills. Sorry, my internet just dropped out for a second there. Well, what this means is that when they're fighting in these operations, you've got like a company of dudes. You got like 100 dudes fighting against an enemy that has tens of millions of soldiers. And they're constantly fighting in these sort of wild skirmishes, trying to lure the enemy troops into, you know, firing situations and stuff, trying to bring guardsmen into sweep up or come in after the Raven Guard have done their work, or support the Raven Guard by like providing a massive distraction. So yeah, the Raven Guard will... Raven Guard are the ones that go, how much are we outnumbered? 10 million to 1. I like those odds. I'm taking it. The Night Lords for ones go, it's like, how much are we outnumbered? We outnumber from 2 to 1. It's like, oh, any Space Marines amongst there? Like, no Space Marines. Like, oh, how many plasma guns do they have? None. What are they armed with? Just knives and spoons? Spoons! Oh, you know, that's a bit too much. I think we should leave. It's like, wait. Let me quit. How experienced are the soldiers? Well, they're not really soldiers, they're just a bunch of kids. I think they're orphans, you know, who are starving. That's why they got forks and spoons, because they want bacon for food. Oh, yeah, that sounds too elite for us. So let's move on to the next territory. Bring out the contingency plan for spoons, pulls out a big bowl of soup. I'm just imagining now Night Lord seeing the orphans, gives them a big bowl of soup, and the orphans like, oh my gosh, thanks, mister. And the Night Lords were, you know, for planning to just, you know, shoot the orphans in the back after giving them the bowl of soup. You see, the soup is very hot to make the spoons too hot to handle. Oh no. Imagine, you know, the Night Lords, you know, if they give the soup as a distraction, right? And, you know, to also try and burn the orphans' tongues and the spoons and stuff. But the orphans are so thankful for the food that the Night Lords end up just adopting the orphans. These are mine now. If the Imperium wanted them, they would have fed them. I kind of want that book now. I want a book of, you know, a small group of Night Lords that end up becoming good guys. And the reason Night Lords are not like Alpha Legion or something, like the Alpha Legion are pretending only to be good guys, only to, you know, convince themselves that they're actually good guys. No, because the Night Lords are like so sinister and evil normally that, you know, it'll just be hilarious. Just a hilarious, the most evil creatures in the galaxy. The ones that like to skin people alive. Yeah, yeah, it turns out or just broody, to be honest. The idea that they start by fighting a group of orphans is hilarious. Yep. Yeah, I am not being very accurate with my painting. I did want to go over some of the areas of the level anyway, so it's fine. Oh, that would be hilarious if they made a group of short stories of yeah, where they do these anthology short story things, where it's just a bunch of characters who, what would be the best word to describe it? You know, from different like chapters of Space Marines, you know, from different factions, where do you know there's a certain stereotype to them already, and the entire thing is from like just growing out of that stereotype. So, like, you might have a Black Templar that loses the religion. You might have a Kriegsman that ends up, being a coward. You know, stuff like that. A Night Lord that ends up becoming good. An Emperor's child that might, like, reject Slanesh or something like that. Or a Khorne Berserker that might fall to Nurgle of all things. Or maybe even Sinch. Well, a World Eater. That would actually be a really fun sort of like short stories. Maybe a craft welder who ends up like falling in with some Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar that seeks refuge on a craft world. Okay, what's the best colour? That's kind of fleshy coloured, but yeah, we'll try different things. We'll try some Kislev flesh. Nah, it's a bit too right next to that. This is Gulliman flesh after all. Okay, what goes well on top of Gulliman flesh? Maybe Cadian flesh tone. Cadian flesh tone might work. So I am definitely biased in the terms of I like seeing how the other side to factions. Like a faction is stereotypically meant to behave one way. But what if they weren't like not every single one of them would be stereotypical. Some of them might not want to act that way. I like that. Also, where's the bush I want to use? Oh, is that it? No. Where's the white bush gone? There's be another one. My layer bush. Layer bush! Did it roll off? Oh yeah, it rolled off. Okay, this is over back here. Yeah, sometimes contrast paint doesn't really cover areas very well. So I'm just like going over for areas where it didn't cover, and also for areas where I accidentally painted it metal. Or just completely missed when I was doing the contrasting. Which happens. Definitely happens. There we go. Night Lords have to be one of my favourite, you know, worst factions. Like, they're absolutely terrible. For terrible people. In many regards, they're kind of just like a terrible idea. But oh my gosh, I love them. I don't really like Conrad too much. I feel like he was a bit too much. That being said, I don't think all of the Primarchs you really meant to like. And Conrad was definitely one of them. I feel like in some cases Pertwee was meant to be one of them. But you know, people did like him anyway. And that's what happens when you make an autistic character. That, you know, in a fan base known for being very autistic. And Rogel Dawn is also a fan favourite for a very similar reason. There we go. Rogel Dawn. Oh no. At the moment, my favourite Primarch. I still need to read the Horus Heresy series. But at the moment, my favourite Primarch is either Gulliman or Rogel Dawn. Hard to choose between them. Probably Gulliman, to be honest. I just like the fact that he just seems to be the only sane person in the entirety of 40k, well, human. There we go.
Have you seen Death to Smoochie, Conjurer?
Nope. I've not heard of that thing before. What is it? Or maybe I have heard of it and I just, you know, completely forgot what it was called. But, probably not, to be honest. Oh, right, I forgot to look at the roof of this mod, didn't I? Make sure. I recognise we're doing pretty well for himself. Yeah. Need too much work on it. looks good. I am a genius, geniusing all about you, do. Eating food is good for me. It's not good for me. It's not. Oh, there we go. Trying to eat healthy is kind of difficult. Although by not having as much cola, I wonder how people have blooming so many calories in the diet. I mean, actually I do know, but it's like... Like, if I calculated how much when I was completely just binging and stuff, which I do quite often. And you got these massively calorie intense sorts of things like bread and or cola itself, sweets, multiple portions. Yeah, that entire thing of the way you're meant to eat, like, two. Well, actually, for someone of my size, you're meant to eat more like, you know, 3,000 calories a day, not 2. If you do anything more than just very, very light stuff throughout your day. I don't understand how. Food hurt. Food be evil. Okay, I'm gonna need to clean these brushes again. Yeah, I can't believe how much I actually like the Games Workshop. I think they might have improved the brushes since, like, when I first started painting models. Because I know it's like any time I bought a Games Workshop brush, it just died instantly. No matter how much I tried to take care of it. And to be fair, the ones that I've got recently, like the starter brushes, also died very quickly. Maybe you improved instead. I mean, I did. And I probably didn't improve from when I was like, you know, really, really good. I'm still trying to get there. I mean, in some ways I feel like I've improved. But in a lot of ways I feel like I still have a way to go to get back to what I once was. When I was, you know, wanting to actually go more professional into it. I mean, back then I was painting like every day that I could manage. And I was trying to sculpt as often as I could do. I had aspirations. interesting. There's some stuff here. So then I think the main thing I want to get done next is the robe. So I want to put skeleton hard on them. I'll probably get that done off stream. It's very quick to do. And then I want to get Wraithbone on them for highlighting after that. Which again I might end up getting done off stream. It's not too long. And we've seen it plenty of times before. It's just trying to find the chance to, you know, be able to paint. Because I'm also just trying to, you know, not be up all night. And that means, like, I don't want to be stuck at my desk painting when soon I'll be wanting to go to bed. But also sometimes I'm just, like, tired. I've got a headache. I just can't be bothered doing anything. I need to choose to paint in those circumstances. At least I'm not going to paint. Try reading something. Although reading is not great when you got a headache. So maybe it's not bad, but you know, you need to indulge yourself from time to time. Especially when you're ill all the time. Under talking like she used to be John Blanche for Avatar line, but instead of learning the 4 elements to protect the balance of the world, you're just a good painter. True. I mean, I wasn't John Blanche. But I mean, I wasn't bad. I mean, I'd won painting competitions. Pretty big ones too. And I remember painting one day and spending the evening, I think it was a Saturday, just painting, I think it was about 60 guardsmen, specifically their faces, and just be like, okay, I'm just going to sit down, get all of the faces done. And it wasn't just, you know, it was full on details for lips, with multiple shades on the lips, the eyes, with the iris. So they had, you know, blue or green eyes for the most part, with a few hazel eyes amongst them. But yeah, so I did the white, then I put a point in the middle. That was basically the colour, and then a smaller point for the black of the eye, and then a tiny little dots of, like, grey sometimes to try and do it. And it's just like, I don't know how I did 60 guardsmen faces like that in a weekend. I don't even know how I did it. I do remember using a pen for it, or a toothpick or something, because I didn't have amazing brushes back then, like the Winsor Newton ones. Instead I just had the cheaper ones I had from a hobby store. So I used tricks of using toothpicks and stuff like that to really get in there. Cupcom painting. I'm painting! Casual flexing. Yeah, I cannot do that anymore. Now, I do think that the eyes have gotten a lot smaller and a lot more detailed. Back when I was painting 60 guardsman faces for the old style of guardsman, not the new style. And as a result, they didn't have the same, you know, but the features on the face was a lot bigger. So it was easier to get away doing that. But, you know, it was still something I was kind of... I do have some guardsmen from back then, but none of them are the good ones, effectively. They're all from my early guardsman days. It's like, oh, why did I get rid of all the good stuff? I did keep my Dark Elder for quite a while, and then I didn't get rid of them that long before I got back into Warhammer, and then I regretted it. So the Dark Elder, the last army that I really went into paint. No, they weren't the last army. They were my first army I was actually truly proud of. That was it. They weren't the last one. They were the... And then I never wanted to use them because, you know, the spikes always got caught and stuff. So we're always like, you know, 5 seconds. Oh, so did I say hi, Nico? Hi, Nico. I saw that you got, what's it called? Loads of reposts on that art you did. Amazing. There we go. So, how much? These guys, they're getting closer to being done. We've basically got... Oh, wait. We've not got the silver for chainswords. After the silver for chainswords, we got all the base colours done. The skin is basically done on all of them. These leathers is basically done. So we just want to do these colours. The blue highlights. That thing with the skeleton hard. The wraiths. Then we'll want to get through. I want to get some known oil and try seeing if I can get some black or darker like shadows on this thing. And then we'll do highlights and stuff on the silver, on the gold, add some washes to it. Oh, we need to do the bronze on this thing too. So yeah, okay, there's still 2 base colours we need to do. Then it's just highlight, shadows, stuff like that. Yes. Who would have thought that leeching off a popular artist gives you reposts? Yeah! I mean, artists supporting one another. Always a great thing. Oh. Love to see Nico, the most talented Polish person on Blue Sky. The most talented Polish person in the world! Because he made this model. That means he's actually not just the most talented Polish person in the world. He's just the most talented person in the world. Yeah, Nico's just the most talented person in the world, you know. Alongside Foggy, because Foggy rigged the model. Yeah. Nico. There we go. Pointing. You. Join the Black Templar. Join the Redeemed Blades. The purple's not showing up very well today for some reason. Maybe it's the camera settings. Maybe it's a lighting settings. Yeah, trying to paint white is very, very difficult. What's this guy called? Laurie. There's Laurie. And Billy. And Papa Scotch. Nico Glazers. I swear, this guy isn't even that good. Who will win, Nico or Goku? Nico, obviously, because the battle is drawing and Goku's not a great artist. No, Nico will just draw stronger muscles. Yeet. Although, actually, that doesn't matter in Dragon Ball, does it? Because you got Beerus being the skinniest lad ever. Just casually slapping gods aside. Oh. But Goku would win. Goku would win. Pfft. Goku glazes, I swear. Goku's not even that good. Oh. But Red Terror's coming next week. Super excited. 11th edition is coming out. Is super excited. Let me go over here. Let me go back to my new target. Do smash. Here's the last art I made. A chalkboard drawing. Goku be the guy with the gun that kills Goku. Goku would win because he'll never be able to land the bullet.
What would you have for an ad to show your channel, Conjurer?
Would you have an... What would you have for an ad to show you? I have no idea. Debut highlights. That's probably what I'll do for an advert for my channel. Oh, or just one of my other videos. Goku would just pull out new, never before seen transformation just to beat Nico up. Oh my gosh. The transformation that makes Nico a brilliant, no, not Nico, Goku a brilliant artist. Oh yeah, why do I want to go over here? Bang! Oh, look at that. Nico art. Yeah. Gambo NASA is tomorrow. Reading Combat Patrol also on Tuesday. Wednesday, building for Brood Coven. I also want to build a Rogal Dawn, but I also am thinking maybe I'll do a member stream on Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I'll try to do a member stream on Wednesday afternoon. The 6-7 shot on her page. Maybe. Maybe. Can you see me? Where's... Wait a minute. I can repeat that image. Bonk. No, that's not that one. Bonk. Wait, where did it go? Oh, it's just like a subtle smile. Yeah. We got an exciting week next week. We do. It's fun. Oh gosh. But what are we doing? Thank you everyone for coming to the stream today. Because we've gone a bit over time. I hope it's been okay. I hope we've not dropped out of the internet too much. In this photo, Kundra looks like she's actively stomping on you from under a table. No! I don't. I'm not stomping on anybody. I mean, actually, like, if you look at my model, like, I'm moving about, you know, quite often. So my feet are just like stomp, 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 stomp. Like, look at that. Stomp, 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 stomp. But that's actually what's happening under the table all of the time. Just me going stomp, 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 stomp. You know? But that's what you do. Do you know when you got fidgety feet and you got like those shaky leg? I just got a stompy leg. Just going stomp, 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 stomp. Yeah, it's just generating energy with stomps like for Japanese. Oh, ancient meme, I feel old. I have no idea what that meme is. Oh, but what would I... You know, maybe that's why there's so many earthquakes nowadays. Have you ever thought how few earthquakes there are in real life? I say real life, do you know currently? Like how little tectonic plate movement there is? Like we really live in like the idyllic zone of Earth. There's like no giant dinosaurs roaming about. There's no giant megalodons in the sea or anything like that. You've got... The biggest predator is a polar bear, and that's stuck in the North Pole. And there's barely any tectonic plate or volcanic activity. Like, we just live in the most idyllic time. In 2010 or somewhere around that time. My gosh, that was like before Jesus was around. There was a meme showing that Japanese have those pads on the streets that stepping on them would generate energy, and it was funny. What? I have no idea what that is. Do you mean it's a bit like those pianos that you sometimes see, you know, in the American malls, and people do like TikTok things of them, where they're stomping on piano keys? Others sometimes they're like stomping on piano keys or whatever, but then they like just play completely different music over it. So it sounds like they're really good at playing the piano with their feet. But they're not. Because that's not what they're playing at all. The sections of the streets with a cover on top of it. Like sectioned? What? And by walking on it you generate energy. It's just a ridiculous thing. What? I know there's sections, like, do you know places where there's, like, really big earthquakes quite often, or, do you know, flooding? And they do have, like, the streets are built in a really weird way. So that effectively it's kind of floating on top of the earth. Piezo electricity. Piezo! Piezo! Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not giving love hearts to anybody. You know, we'll leave by going smash. But big love hearts to you all. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And remember to take care of yourselves. Be kind to others. And vice versa. Eat good food. Sleep well. Dream of cupcakes, but don't eat the cupcakes. As if it's not food. Goodbye, everyone. And remember to brush your teeth. Yeah. Smash. Love you all. And don't forget to like the stream.